Good everyone, welcome to this video, and today we have a subscriber request by ItsFilips, and this time he requested something a bit more unique. He requested the Spitfire Mk1A, but as you can tell, this is no ordinary Spitfire Mk1A. This is a Yugoslavian Air Force Spitfire. In the end of 1945, Yugoslavia were gifted a load of Spitfires, Hurricanes, and also a load of Russian aircraft such as Yaks, IL-2s, etc. And obviously they painted them in Yugoslavian Air Force roundels and used them appropriately. Now, unfortunately, in the 50s, they kind of pissed off the Russians, and Russia was basically getting pantsy about them, so they cut off supply. So they could no longer operate their Yaks, IL-2s without fuel and stuff like that, specifically tailor-made for those aircraft, as well as ammo, obviously, and rockets and bombs for the IL-2s. But obviously, we're not here to discuss Yugoslavia's Air Force. I believe, well, they actually got threatened several times by other Russian countries. I believe in Bosnia threatened them at one point. So, Dark Angel, your country's been threatening. But then again, you don't even have an active Air Force, so there's your one diss towards Bosnia for the day. And well, this is actually a really nice skin. When ItsFilips requested me to put this skin on, I actually do like the look of the skin. I'm not gonna lie, it looks really nice. But in my personal opinion, Spitfire should be flown with purely the RAF roundel. But we're not going to do that today. ItsFilips has specifically requested this, and obviously I'm more than happy to oblige. This is actually my second attempt at recording this because last week, because yeah, it's been a week since I attempted to record this. Let's just say I got below in Sumer, and then I realised, well, I'm not going to have enough fuel to make it across the channel. I might as well just head back, do it, well, try and do it again. Then I realised the time and had to go to college, and I just haven't had time the rest of the week. But hey, stuff happens. So, let's jump right into it, and then I can go over the Spitfire a bit more briefly. And we're straight in, lovely jubbly. And Normandy, this normally means a 3.0 to 3.3 to potentially even 3.7, so joy, full up tears. But yeah, the Spitfire was obviously developed to be more of an interceptor kind of fighter. It was meant to deal with the enemy sort of, although it meant to deal with the 109s basically. The Mk1A obviously was the first of the Spitfires, and after the first few production variants, they actually had three-bladed props. They didn't initially have three-bladed props. The first few had two-bladed wooden propellers, but obviously they were retrofitted soon enough. But yeah, it's a 3.3 because we've got an MB157. Yeah, the Spitfires, unfortunately, in War Thunder now have been suffering what's known in the trade as overheat. And unfortunately, this weakens the Spitfire dramatically. But like I said, I'll let you guys have a look around the skin. If you want to have this skin, I recommend going onto War Thunder Live and finding the appropriate link. It should be under Yugoslavian Spitfire. It's a very nice aircraft to put a skin on, personally. But as I've always said though, as much as I love my Spitfires, it's all about the Hurricane for me. The Spitfire was the golden child of the RAF. They used this as the poster boy. They didn't respect the Hurricane for what it did. Well, obviously they did, but not as much as what the Spitfire did for them. The only reason why the Hurricane was not upgraded as much is because, well, it was just too old. The Spitfire was newer, could easily be re-engined, re-armed, with different wing types, because this is the Type A wing, with the 8 303 Browning machine guns. Then you have the B wing, which is 2 cannons and 4 machine guns. You have the C wing, which is 4 20mm cannons. In fact, no. The C was a universal wing, if I remember rightly. It could basically have anything in it. And then you just went from there. The Mark 16 Spitfire incorporated the clip wing design, which is to improve the roll rate, which, to be honest, I don't have a quarrel with the Spitfire's roll rate. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. But back in the days of the old Spitfire, before the overheat, you could wet this sucker to 20,000 feet and it would not give a shit. Nowadays, unfortunately, you do have to crank it back every so often. But like I said, I still respect the Spitfire, but it's not, in my opinion, the RAF's golden boy. The golden boys of the RAF were the Hurricane, the Lancaster, and yes, technically the Spitfire. But at the same time, there were a lot of... Keep starting to game against change my load of fuel. Well, that's your problem, mate. But there's a lot of planes in the RAF service during this time period that are just ignored from War Thunder. And it's a real shame, because, well, it's just one of those things, really. And I prefer more unique aircraft as opposed to jets. I mean, we've got the F-86K coming in for the French. We've got the Russians. Okay, I didn't even notice. I thought it was, I was too busy yapping. But, we obviously do have the F-86K coming in, the ME-264. Apparently there's meant to be an early MC-202 Folgore, which I'm looking forward to. There's also J5N1, and then comes a Spitfire overheat. So we've lost about 5,000 feet worth of web, to be honest, and that is quite considerable. We've got a couple of P-39s coming in. Obviously, they'll probably be N models. But I feel sorry for that Wellington, is all I'll say. Because if you listen carefully, you can hear a did about being wrong in those P-39s. And the Wellington has decided, oh shit, I need to get out of here. It would appear that most of my team, though, are not climbing, which is a disappointment because, well, I'm just going to crank my engine back a little bit. Because we need to make sure our engine doesn't overheat. We have got a few P-39s up here, which we do need to deal with. One of them is a K. That one there's a K. This one will be an N model. Technically the K is the more dangerous model, but he's just been set on fire by the Wellington, which, good job to you, mate. Okay, well the Wellington's just gone down. I don't know what this P-39 here is doing, but quite clearly he's doing a vertical maneuver. Dive on and make sure we can get him to potentially break off any attack runs he tries. Let's let rip with the 8303s. My aim sucks because I'm not used to Spitfire. I don't really fly the early Spitfires, I prefer the later model Spitfires. And now he's attempted to dance with a Spitfire, which is a fateful error. Got a nice crit on him. I'm watching the minimap at the same time, so I do apologise for any delays in manoeuvring that I may employ here. He's trying the old manoeuvring tricks here. These ain't working. I'm constantly throttling back to make sure I don't overshoot him. Oh yes, the old carburetor, I forgot to mention that. Spitfire was carbureted and it did not like doing negative manoeuvres like it just did there. Some nice hits on the airframe, and he lost tail control apparently. Okay. Well, technically he's still not dead, so we do need to make sure he is going down. Okay, let's line up carefully, because obviously we don't want to waste ammo, because we don't have a lot. I know it says 2,048 rounds, but trust me, it doesn't last very long in 8 Brownings. Okay, line them up. Fire. You can see why the A wing was deemed inefficient after 1941-ish. The MU-157 is offering to help, but there we go. And he came in for that kill steal. What a wanker. But we got him in the end. It just took a lot of ammo because, well, the Spitfire's A-wing was not that effective compared to its contemporaries. Such as the... And now he wants my help. Okay, well, you did try and kill steal, but I'll let you off this once. Yes, I see him, mate. I'm just literally spotted him. You don't need to spam me, I can see. There is an O1ADS up there, that's a pretty dangerous plane. And now it's on the boil. You can see why not many people like the early Spitfires anymore. So now we're close to stall, which I'm worried about. Because I don't really want to enter the combat area with a basically knackered engine. Yes, full away, Bo. But I don't mind the early Spitfires. They are very temperamental planes. They require a pilot who knows how to thermodynamic, so to speak, like how to manage their throttle. And it is a Yak 4. But he's got P3 close, AP3 close by. That MB came in way too fast for that maneuver, I'll tell you that right now. Now with the Yak 4, obviously I did a combo video on that. It's not the best plane, but I know how to deal with one. So, help me stairs everybody, there's no fighter escort. Right, got the throttle up. God, you really are making a meal of that. Oh, he's got him. That's a flat spin. He must have blown off the elevator. Let's use the Spitfire's wonderful turn rate and let's get out of the way. Okay, throttle back to avoid overheat. Another thing about the early Spitfires compared to the Hurricanes, the early Spitfires could not really carry bombs. They were not really designed to. So even if we wanted to help our team out, you're getting a bit close for comfort there, buddy, and I don't like it. Let's see what he does if I drop the throttle. Because I don't like his approach. That's my only issue here. Okay, P3's taken off. Dude, just go back to base and stop being an arse. You're getting on my nerves. Right, IL-4's up there. Oh dear. I don't mind people flying wingtip to wingtip with me, but he's been getting on my nerves most of the time. Now, obviously, I know how capable the PE-3 is, so I've got to be more careful. And yes, mate, I can look, and I can see him. I ought to nickname you Captain Obvious. I'm well aware. This guy's getting on my nerves already. I-1ADS is now dead, but now the P-39 is about to jump him, which, thank fuck for that, is all I'll say. Oh my god, this overheat's getting on my nerves now. Right, first rule of engaging a P-39, never try and outstall one, because it's Russian. Now I'm just worried about my fuel load. I really am worried about my fuel load. Ammo load isn't too bad. I can cope with an ammo load. Fucking hell, man. How much... You demand so much of your team. What level is this guy? Ugh. Nothing new there. Now let's see if we can drop him. Let's roll it over. It's an N model, so not the most dangerous model of P-39, but even so, it should be respected either way. Nice hit on the airframe. I'm now worried about the other friendly that's dropping it on his tail. That did absolutely nothing. Mate, you are not going to outdance the Spitfire in this regard, trust me. You can see why I get worried about teammates shooting over me. You can already see the tracer fire. Oh, I think I just smoked his engine there. I'm going to have to throttle back in a second because my engine's starting to overheat. One more burst and we're getting out of here. That's it, we're dry. We need to get out of here. Before AAA smokes us. And now the P3's joining the party. You see, this is why I don't really like the early Spitfires. It's one of my main problems with them. They just don't have the firepower compared to their later models. 2B, I'll obviously have to do in the Talisman series, which I'm looking forward to because it's actually got freaking cannon. We have to do a bit of throttle management here because, well, we ain't got a choice. 75%. Let's bump it up to 80 because we do need a bit more power than what we think. The stupid thing is though, the Spitfires never really had cooling problems in real life. That's why they have a big, massive air intake. The only reason they really nerf them is, well, because it's Gaijin, really. Okay, well, I might as well cut here, and I will catch you all back when we have refueled, rearmed, and taken up again. Well, welcome back. It took forever to get back. I did have to micromanage the throttle like a boss, but we got back after nearly 5 minutes of engaging, well, flying back. Unfortunately, it would appear that the enemy team have, well, they have killed other Spitfire that was assisting me earlier on. You provided a worthy distraction, shall we say. But unfortunately, we are going to lose this game, and there's not much we can do about it. I would say it's unfortunate, but to be honest, it's allied teams. They're not exactly much use. But even so, I just flew back, micromanaging the throttle, because that's really what you've got to do in a Spitfire, sadly. And to be honest, they really need to unnerf the Spitfires. Okay, you might want to kill that IL-4 quickly, mate, because, well, it's already too late. He's already dropped. He's already dropped, mate. You could tell. And he didn't kill him in one pass. Yeah, we're going to lose. That IL-4 has definitely dropped. And there we go. Game's over. Only one air kill, but I'm not doing sunshine and butterflies for all my videos, I'm afraid. So whilst it wasn't exactly a graceful flight in the Spitfire, I am working on the Hornet now. Just thought I'd point it out. It wasn't exactly a good game by any standards, but it certainly wasn't a bad game by any standards. However, you now see why I do not like the 8303 layout, especially on the Spitfire at 2.7. its armament is just insufficient for its job. Its armament is not as powerful as its opposition, such as let's go with the Yak-7B with its 250 cals and a 20 mil. The Germans with their 220 mils and two 7.92s. That seems to work better for me. But don't worry, we do have a Spitfire 2B to do in the Talisman series when we get around to Britain. So I'm looking forward to that. However, as I've said, I would rather fly one of the later model Spitfires just because they handle better, they micromanage engines better, they don't overheat as much, and they just, in general, do not feel nice. I mean, they're just not the nicest planes to fly. I mean, you saw there, we pumped over 1,000 rounds into a P-39 and it only lost the tail control. And he was perfectly capable of flying that thing back to base, I can tell you that right now. But I wouldn't say it's the worst plane I've flown in a while, but it's up there. It's just not the same anymore. The Spitfires used to be gods, and now they just don't feel as good as they should. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video on the Spitfire Mk1A. Unfortunately, we lost that game and we only got a single kill. But with 8.303 Brownings, I was lucky to get that kill. These Browning machine guns just don't do that much at the high or the mid tiers, shall we say. But even so, recommended upgrade path, radiator, offensive 7 mils, compressor, engine injection, 100 octane, wings repair, and then a clean up. Haven't done that one in a while either. But we tried our best, and well, we got a kill out of it. That's all that matters. And well, as ItsFilips said in the Discord chat we did it for whoever Tito is. I think I can't remember his first name, but I know it's someone named Tito, and he's some sort of communist leader. But overall, stick with the Hurricanes, people. Seriously, stick with the Hurricanes. I mean, if we take a look at the Mark IIB Trop, you get 12 machine guns, you get bombs and rockets, so that's how I see it. Anyway, I'll let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed today's video on the Spitfire. And if you've got any requests, drop them in the comments below. You guys know the drill. And I will catch you all on the next one.